This game is called Open That Door. It is similar played to Let's Make a Deal, the TV show game. In this game, basically, you will divide your participants into groups. There can be up to 6 teams or 6 groups playing the game. Each team will be asked a question that is provided to them by the instructor. Once the instructor has asked the question, if the team gets it right, they are allowed to pick one of 3 doors. Behind 2 doors are great prizes. Behind a 3rd door is a prize of far less value. The team with the most dollar amounts at the end is the winner. Let me give you an example of how it's played. I'm going to click the begin button. First here, the instructor now has in their hand their review questions, their vocabulary quiz, whatever, and they ask the first team a question. That team gets the question right, and they request door number 2. So the instructor would click on door number 2. Here they find that they have been awarded a watch worth $10. So now up in the upper right, the instructor would click back to scores, and they would provide team 1 with 10 points or $10. Now in the upper right, the instructor would click back to question, and we would now go from here to click next doors. Team 2 will now be provided with a question. They, in our pretend scenario, get it right, and they're going to choose door number 1. So the instructor now clicks door number 1. We find another good prize of $50. Just to give you an example, if they had chosen door 2, nothing but old newspapers worth nothing, and door 3, groceries. So we're going to go back to scores in the upper right and give team 2 $50 for their winnings there, and then we're going to click back to question in the upper right, and we will now go to next doors. We continue this until the instructor has run out of questions or the winner has been declared. I'm now going to talk about how to edit or put in your own questions into the Open Door. There are 3 versions of the Open Door PowerPoint game available. The first one that we looked at was basically the Open Door with no questions, which is where you just have your questions in your hand and you ask them to your participants without making any preparation to the game ahead of time. In this version, which is called Open That Door with Questions, you are allowed to put in your own questions on the slides and then ask the students or the participants the questions at that point. So what the instructor would do before the game begins is go down and start with slide number 4, and where it says place question 1 here, they would simply delete that and place the question that they want to ask here. They would then come down below here and place their answer here. And basically what you're going to do is, since this is simple PowerPoint, you can make the text as big or as small as you need it to be. And I'll just make this a little bigger here. And then, of course, we can also do the same for the answer. You can change colors, you can put in a picture as your question, whatever. When this actually shows, what will appear first is what is the capital city of North Carolina, and then we'll click the Show Answer button and Raleigh will appear. At that point, if they get it right, the instructor will click door 1, 2, or 3 and then give them the award that is there. Just like you would in the regular no questions game, it's just this one you're allowed to put in your own questions as you move through. I encourage you to, before you begin, think about how many questions you need. The default is 25 question slides. You can add as many as you want. To add another question slide, simply right click on that slide and choose duplicate slide, and then type in your question. I also encourage you to be sure that you change up your answer and question numbers, because each of them are numbered, so you would need to change this to question 3 or whatever. I would go to the very end and add another question 21, 22, etc. And also be sure to move your slides around so that you don't have the exact same slides occurring one after another, because this would cause the participants to realize what's behind door 1, 2, and 3 when they're doing that. The other thing to point out as a note is that when you do your team scoreboard, the team scoreboard is not editable, or you cannot change it in the edit mode right now like I'm in. If you get some team scores in here and want to clear them out so you can play this game again, you actually have to go and launch the slideshow presentation, and then once you start the slideshow presentation, you can zero these out and then save your presentation, and it will be good for your next time. To begin the game using Office 2007, go to the Slideshow tab and click one time. After clicking on the Slideshow tab, click the From Beginning button on the far left. This will begin the game. To start the game in any version of PowerPoint before Office 2007, go to the Slideshow menu and choose View Show. This game is designed for whole class participation. Participants are divided into teams or may work as individuals. For best results, use an LCD projector or TV to display the game to participants. If you receive a security alert when beginning this game and you're using Office 2007, simply click the Enable This Content button and then click OK. Please note, if you are using a version of Microsoft Office prior to Office 2003, some of the features in these games may not function properly. It is advised that you do your editing of the PowerPoint slides or games in your older version, and then use Microsoft's free PowerPoint viewer for actual game play. To download the free viewer, just do a web search for PowerPoint Player 2007.